Awesome. Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Welcome to day 9 of our Alchemical Transformation Challenge. Oh, you're hearing me again. Sorry. I hope you guys are ready. I hope yesterday's practice was great. Today, we're going to jump right in and we're going to continue our challenge working on training and practicing these incredibly powerful alchemical practices to help us transmute and raise the vibrational frequency from the inside out, from the core, from the subconscious mind, changing this raw matter into the highest form of vibrational frequency in order to resonate with higher dimensional expressions in which we can become one with the all. And that is really the purpose of this entire challenge, is that we all, in these practices, through the work that we're doing, begin to experience through your own personal experience what it's like to wake up into this new way of being. And all these concepts that we share, many people share about how to come into this higher states of consciousness, these are things that I invite you to explore in your own personal experience. How do you see them? How do you feel them? How do you experience them? Because that's really where the core value is of your personal experience. And every single individual person has a way of accessing this information that is unique to your bloodline, unique to your genetic makeup, ancestral history, and the journey that you are here experiencing in this collective whole. So I really invite you to really come into that and practice through your own experience. Let's say hello to the chat. Hello, IT guys. So great to see you. Grace, Blanca, Marilena. I'm so happy you caught us live. Anders, thank you so much for joining us. So we're going to jump right in. I'm going to open the chat right now. Please put in your questions if you had any questions from yesterday's practice or from the day before that. What are you having trouble with? Where are the blocks? Put it in there. I want to know so that I can be the best support to you and we can address them. Because if you're having the questions, guarantee other people are also having similar questions. And so, your questions help us all flush out blockages and parts of us that we need to address. So today we're going into the entry into energy mechanics, learning how to work with life force. And we've already been looking at several aspects of working with life force. We looked at emotional life force. We were working with a little bit of visual life force. We talked about the transmutation of the lowest life force into the highest, working with the perineum. And we're going to continue that practice today in our meditation because I want you to get used to that kind of transmutation feel and exercise. But today we're also going to be introducing or going into the introduction of more advanced Qigong practices, which means management of life force, cultivation of life force, so that you can incorporate these practices into your everyday life. And as our challenge progresses through the month, we're going to take a look at some of these other Qigong exercises that can help move life force through the body in a way that is very nourishing and healing and productive. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. When we are moving, let me actually go to the chat before we start. Marilyn, I'm finding it difficult to use imagination. At the moment, I'm finding energy very strong. Well, the fact that I find that to be kind of like a dichotomy, because you're feeling the energy very strong, but then you're having difficulty with your imagination. Focus on the feeling, because as I mentioned many times, we have many sensory systems that are intricately connected with the network of the morphogenetic field. So we are using all of the entire body to become an antenna and transducer and receiver of information. So we want to tune in to these different senses and utilize them in the way that we are most equipped. Now, the senses that are most active in our bodies are active as a result of many things. The archetype that we've incarnated into in this lifetime, which is a series of emotional programs that we've been cycling from karmically and are existing in as a condensed kind of vibrational frequency that we're existing in and experiencing simultaneously. So you and many of your parts right now, fractals of yourself, are experiencing some kind of learning. You're learning something through this life experience. It's designed by emotions, by your environment, that is an expression of those emotional belief systems, and those belief systems are inherited through your ancestral lineage. Every person experiences these information in different ranges, different ways. So we, in our life, choose some key ways to find our way back to balance. Okay, so some of us have more of a masculine imbalance, some of us have a more feminine imbalance. As we find our way navigating through life, balancing, healing these two feminine, masculine energies within us, we then can balance them within the body. Body, mind, soul, three-dimensional aspects of ourselves, and the upper, mid, and root dantian, which are the energy centers of life force cultivation. So as we heal these imbalances within us, we are then also rebalancing psychologically, energetically, and physically. Those are the three main areas. And so in this way, we change frequency and transcend. Okay, so that essentially is what we're doing. So we want to pay attention to which one of our senses is more active. Is it our intuition? Can we intuit? The intuition can be processed through hearing. It can be through sensing, through knowing. Some people just know things. They're not necessarily visual. We don't need to see the actual thing or answer in front of us. We can hear, we can know, we can feel, we can sense. And we need to pay attention and honor the tools that we have developed in life as a result of survival mechanisms, and use them in order to broaden and exercise the rest of the senses, the rest of the tools that we have available to us through this complex body. So your imagination is just one of the things that you can utilize. If you're a person that feels and senses things, trust that and use that as a tool of translation. And that will take you very far, okay? This is how you answered my question right at the end of yesterday's session, and I've been pondering it since. Just wanted to say it's already had an impact in my day-to-day emotional state, which is a plus. Wow, that's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. Congratulations on that shift. Veronica, Victoria, thank you so much for joining us. So wonderful to have you here. Anders, Carl Jung talked about anemia, an anima and animus, male and female within both sexes. Right, exactly. Yes, I'm healing my masculine every day. I am practicing it. Excellent. Some people say they do not have inner dialogue. Yes, and I've seen that as well, and that usually happens as a result of severe trauma, where they have to experience a severe disassociation from the intuitive that is innate, and the knowing that is closest to nature and all that is divine, pure, and in balance. And the disassociation occurs when we start to experience all that is the inversion of that nature, the inversion of that balance, and our entire organism, because it's so intelligent and it's interconnected to nature in a way that's through the morphogenetic field, through the form that comes into shape here, as an intentional creation. It knows there's an intelligence that transcends even logic. It's the balance. It's a unified balance with the whole, and so that right there allows this body to self-balance itself. And everything from the accidents that we have to the repetitive relationships, problems, blockages, in ourself and in our life that we experience are all a manifestation to help your soul, that can be seen as a support, to break you into that realignment again. So we have to pay attention, right? That's why presence is essential to the activation of your DNA and your ability to access this present moment. So we heal that inner dialogue by connecting the mind and the body. And we do that by learning how to feel and express emotions, acknowledge, feel, express emotions. That is an entire transformational process in itself that I invite all of you to do, because without that connection and that transformation, that journey that is taken through the emotions, it's almost as if you haven't learned the language of the universe, which is vibrational frequency, and frequency is emotion. So it's almost like you're learning a language. And in order for you to navigate these higher realms, or have a life that is interconnected to your truth, you must learn how to navigate those. Okay. So that's really important. Thank you for that important comment. That's amazing, Marilena. Kiara from New Zealand, great to be here. Wonderful to have you here. Pineal gland breathing was transformative. Yes, and we're going to do more of that today. Pamela Rose, Kevin, thank you so much for being here. Blanca says, I've been having trouble lately in integrating my shadow aspects or aspects. I feel as if I'm polarizing or having extreme conducts. It's as if both sides potentialize in their expression. Yeah. And this does happen. But we're judging these polarizations, because somewhere in the subconscious mind, we have a preconceived ideas as to what those polarizations are supposed to do or not supposed to do. So the key to transcending and intensifying of the polarization side effect is that you bring yourself into a neutral observer and you become an explorer. Imagine yourself being like a child. We come back to, and this literally occurs when you are going through this alchemical transformation and you come to the 0 point, you do become like a child. I remember when I first experienced this, it really felt as if I had gone back to a deep innocence, a profound innocence. And I had to hold and preserve that innocence, was a challenge, because in this world there are so many things that will contrast that and that will trigger that, or even test that, or things that like to parasitize on that innocence. So learning how to hold space in the strong foundation of your inner knowing with this innocence is essential. And it's not something that's talked about a lot in the spiritual community. We talk about the dark shadow, the dark night of the soul. We talk about that. But there's many other aspects of waking up that need to be addressed, and preserving the newly found innocence when you come into that is a completely different new way of being. It is a new human that is divinely connected to themselves. And when you see this being out and you're interacting with them, it'll trigger a lot for people, because people are so used to being in survival. They're used to having exchanges that are imbalanced, or taking more than they should, or giving more than they should. So, you will kind of trigger that in the world around you. So in order to neutralize any kind of polarization internally and externally, we have to come back to that innocence of exploration, where you don't judge anything, but you're like an explorer that sees, that has a curiosity to understand its core truth, follow truth into its core. And I believe that will help you continue expanding without getting stuck on either one of those things, ways. Okay, so that's a little idea I can give you, but we can talk more about that. Bailey Patterson says, any advice on how to further develop my intuition and psychic abilities? Yes, as a matter of fact, everything that I share with you here is for that purpose, because our intuition is the key, and it is also the side effect of this illumination that occurs as a result of transmutation, as we talked about yesterday in the pineal gland conversation. But our psychic abilities, even without the pineal gland Kundalini rising experience, you can experience um, by training yourself on a daily basis. And my invitation is that you begin to use your intuitive abilities for absolutely everything. What you're going to do next, what you're going to eat next, what you want to, where you want your attention to focus on. I mean, that constant, like, and don't do anything without the intuition. That entire journey in itself is a major test to whether you are willing to trust yourself and go into surrender, because at first it will seem terrifying, because a lot of the answers that you might get might not be something that you expect, and they also might be answers that you don't want to hear. So you might have to do things that you're not, for example, you made a plans to go somewhere and do something, and then your intuition says no, and you don't listen to that. You can guarantee that the event that you sign up to won't go the way you think it'll go. So this pure intuition occurs by the cultivation of the mastery of emotions, because when we don't have our emotions in check, the emotions can influence. And if all of our subconscious programs are in fear, the kind of answers that you're going to get from your intuitive hits are going to be actually survival responses rather than true pure intuition. So this is why, and it's the same for the other side of the spectrum. If you are in a constant state of this false sense of joy, right, with the root being in fear, it's always in fear, that we kind of project subconsciously into our intuitive information, and therefore what we receive is not going to be in alignment with our highest expression. So it's a tool that we're learning how to refine. And one of the things that I can suggest is to take the GPAC course on my website and the multidimensional body course, because both of those go very deep into intuitive training. Tomorrow, or I'm sorry, Saturday, this coming Saturday, I am hosting a telepathy training workshop. You're welcome to join me for that. And that will be on my website. Hi, Kevin. So great to see you. Fernando, Marilena, JMac, so great to see you. Love you, JMac. Definitely check out JMac's channel. He has an amazing, amazing music and messages there. So wonderful to see you. Intuition is always there if and when we choose to take input from it. Yes, excellent. All right, my loves, thank you for joining me. So let's go ahead and start working. I have a question from Love, Love, Love. During this portal we are going through 2020 to 2030, would you say this 2023 is the year of the dark night of the soul? I think that 2023 will be a very challenging year, in that if you haven't, it'll be a challenging year collectively, but it will also be a year of major quick ascension, quick expansion. And that's why I'm doing this at the end of this year. These are tools that you need to implement into your everyday use, the tools that I'm sharing with you today, because they will prepare you for the purification of heavy things that you haven't let go. If you continue to carry those things into next year will be challenging. It will be magnifying those things. So the invitation is that you allow yourself to surrender. It's a year of surrender, is what it really is about. It's a year of surrender, of trust and truth. Are you afraid of seeing your deepest truths? And if you are afraid of seeing them, it's time to sit down with them. And you have some time until we get into the depths of around springtime, where things are really going to start to get intense, is where you want to make sure that you are working in this direction. Okay. Okay. Amazing questions. I am going to come back to those questions. Let's get into our lecture for today. We're going to talk about working with life force and what that looks like and how we can train to do that. So let me go ahead and open our wonderful little presentation package here that we have. And and I really briefly wanted to let you know that I just found out today by talking to my support team in Wix that past days are not available to you through the website. Okay, so I mean through the desktop. So if you're logging into the account through the desktop and you have not been able to access previous dates, it's just some kind of setup. I don't know why. They put in a question to Wix to figure out why, but they're not allowing that. However, if you do download the Wix Spaces, and I'm sorry if it's their intention to have you download the application, but you can always get rid of it when you're done with the challenge. But you can utilize that app in order to access previous days. And then you have all the videos and you have all the slides available to access on the calendar there. I do suggest it. I think it's really nice to have it in in your phone so you can access it there. But what I will be doing as a result, and in order to facilitate for desktop users, because I also don't like to use my phone for this, I'm going to export all of the days into one web page, which will be a link that you could just access very easily through the website, just the way that I did the self-love challenge a couple years ago. I put it on a web page there. Okay, so please hang in there with me. I'm also actively working with the team for any kind of technical issues, um, including logging in, which we spent hours this afternoon trying to figure out. And I don't know why some of you are not getting the login, because not everyone is having the issue. Only a very small number of people are having that problem, and we don't know why. So we will work on that. All right, love. So let's talk a little bit about running energy and working with energy within the field. So let's take a look at our trusty image here of our morphogenetic field. Now, when you look at this picture, we wonder if I can. I don't know. Okay. If when we look at this picture, we're really taking a look at how energy is moving through this body. But the energy is not just moving through the body in this way. It's like we have infinite numbers of these fields. So this field that you see in the body, this donut shaped field that creates the toroidal field around the body, we have one for every single chakra, and also the organs and any major and minor vortex points within the body. Okay, so can you imagine what you look like? Because this is a very simplified image of what your body looks like. We are actually made up of these vortex points, and every single one of these donut-shaped fields emerges from the major chakra centers, which is the endocrine center system, that is the vortices in the body that make up the chakras. So from the root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, has this field that is creating from each one of them. And together, the intermeshing of these fields are what create your reality, what you know as your reality. They create your reality in that it's what you experience, and it creates all of that information, including these fields, is interconnected to the muscles, to the nervous system, the flesh, down to the cellular level of the body, and organized in an intelligent system that is arranged by vibrational frequency. The way that this information moves around the body depends on how you are processing emotions on a daily basis. That's really what it comes down to. Because, as we talked about, the language of the universe is vibrational frequency, is emotion, and each one of the chakras is processing different data of these ranges of frequencies, both visible and non-visible ranges of frequencies. So energy patterns that we absorb, such as EMFs. And I want to put a note about EMFs here. I'm going to insert this topic about EMFs. Many people believe that they are affected. Someone just asked me the other day, what do we do about being affected by EMFs? Well, you are an electromagnetic field. You are a field yourself. You're an EMF that you want to block from a computer or a phone, is small in comparison to the magnetic field that you can cultivate within your body. And when you cultivate this magnetic field through the mastery of your emotions, because you allow fluid life force and you elevate from lower emotions to higher emotions, you create an incredibly powerful magnetic field in that will interrupt actually other magnetic fields around you, such as lights, computers, phones. And in fact, your field will interfere with these artificial networks of magnetic fields. So this is something that I really want you to understand, that you are your most powerful protection, no matter what, inside out. There, no shungite, no stone will do as good as a job as the cultivation of your own field. And it's very funny because this field that we have in the body becomes affected and weakened by the following: lack of exercise, which means that you're not inhaling and exhaling the abundant life force that is available through nature, prana. Earth creates this incredible life force energy that allows us to nourish the body. And when we do not have an exchange with our surroundings, with the natural environment of the earth, we create blockages in the physical body in such a way that we cannot process information. We can only process very dense energies in the body. We talked about vibrational frequencies, and every range of vibrational frequency allows the physical body to either expand its range of reach or contract. So we cultivate the magnetic field when we talked about yesterday. Okay, yesterday we talked about the pineal gland breathing and what happens when you activate your pineal gland. When you breathe from the perineum up into the pineal gland, you begin to create chemicals in the body that chemically disconnect you from the entanglement of the physical realm and redirect your attention into a higher functioning brain waves, higher functioning life force vibrational frequency that allows you to access frequency ranges that are not seen by the human eye. They transcend the waves that we're not able to see. So we're able to access waves beyond that. And it's in our understanding of how to utilize these waves of information for healing, such as the violet, ultraviolet whites, this ultraviolet light, this violet frequency that we talked about, which we can find in the universe, available to us and through us, in us, is available to assist us in the healing and strengthening of each organ. Because within the spectrums of white light, when we know how to use and cultivate white source light, which is the infinite potential, we have the ability of nourishing and enriching the organs and rebalancing the body in order to create a homeostasis and a balance in the physical body. So this kind of work that we're talking about, really, it goes beyond It goes beyond the fears and limitations of the mind. We think that in our bodies, we are victims to our surroundings, whatever it is that is occurring around us, can affect us. But the fact is, the truth is that nothing can affect you if you know how to cultivate your field and if you know how to work with your life force. Absolutely nothing. And I know this for a fact. I'm not just telling you this because it's something that I heard or something that I've read. And I want to remind you that none of the information that I'm sharing with you is information that I've read somewhere or learned in a class. Everything I'm sharing with you are things that I have experienced and cultivated in my body, so I can help you embody this and get there from zero to this place, because I know what it takes to get there. And so together, that's why I want you to ask questions. We can get to that place that we need to get in order to help you understand and experience these things. And each person will have a different way to get there, of course, okay? But the cultivation of this field is one of the mastery of the emotion, because that's the vibrational frequency. And when we move the life force, because we begin to shift our emotions from lower to higher, we begin to move energy faster, which activates the vortex of the body. Vortex of the body, lower, higher. Again, we are all made up of vortices. So the vortexes, when they begin to move faster, higher frequency, means we're in a higher creative state. We can then expand this field. That's what it means to grow your light. To grow your light. This is something that came in a meditation in my early journey, when I was asking, well, how will I know? How will I be able to, cultivate this? Like, how will I know if I'm doing a good job, or how will I do it? And I saw that it's a matter of growing your light, which means that you can anchor source through the body, higher bands, literally, of life force through the body. And yesterday we talked about the pineal gland activating the physical body as this becoming a beacon, like a radio wave, a radio antenna that begins to have access to higher ranges of frequency through the physical body. So when we come into the 0 point, this is why I tell you the 0 point is the key. When we come into the 0 point, it neutralizes us so that we can access these bodies simultaneously. And through the cultivation of your intuition, they allow you to tune into them and to the information that's available in your bodies. No implant, no entity, no attachment, nothing can affect and limit this body's expansion. When you align with nature, your body expands. Your body expands. When you go into nature, you will realize that your breathing begins to regulate. You come into your body more fully. You experience the external from the internal. You come into an observation state, and the body begins to readjust. Like if you have a tummy ache or indigestion, or you ate something heavy, when you go into nature, not only does the walking help, of course, but energetically, if you would just stand in nature in a forest, your body would readjust, the organs readjust. And this is because we are balancing the positive and negative charges in the physical body. Again, everything is about coming to balance. And at the center of that balance is the 0 point. So in buildings, like our cubicles and homes that are structured in square shapes, square shaped buildings trap life force, corners trap life force. Okay, so it's very important that in your homes, you are working on clearing and neutralizing the space in your home. Because emotions, heavy emotions, sorrows, depression get stuck in the environment because of resonance. objects around us absorb that life force. And this is why I've mentioned this before. I don't advise utilizing many used items, or being very careful and very selective with kind of used items that you purchase and bring into your home, because you're bringing in energy, and especially metals and crystals. Okay, so if you buy crystals from a secondhand store or a garage sale, be mindful of that. I've dealt with many families that have bought crystals from secondhand stores, and then everything started going south in the house, in the families, because this crystal had been holding some heavy stuff from the house before. Okay, and it was interfering with their fields, all the fields it create. Remember, the crystals are like magnetic fields in on their own. Everything is, but they have strong magnetic fields, and they can be programmed and encoded. So the memory that they hold within space is a higher DNA than solid matter, as in this table or this desk or this chair or this wall. Okay, so every object has a different density, genetic makeup, cellular structure that will either record data, frequency, more, or hold more amounts of it than other density objects. And it's the same with humans. When humans don't cultivate space, transmuting low programs, they can't remember anything. They can't remember their dreams, can't remember experience, can't access intuition. That is all the communication of the memory system, which is multidimensional in the body: physical, emotional, and energetic. Okay, so the entire organism is a system like a crystal, as we mentioned, that is recording this information. So going into a home that is really heavy and is blocked, hasn't been cleaned, in your own home, if you have a lot of clutter, it is interfering in your field. It's important to understand that we need to live in homes and in buildings, and many of us spend a lot of time working 9 to 5 jobs that end up being 60 to 80 hours work weeks, right? And I think our world is changing in that in a little bit. But it when I see the bodies of and this is not a commentary in the negative, but when I work with clients that play video games, for example, for extended amounts of time, and I'm not just talking once in a while, I'm talking about they basically make it their career to play video games, like 80 hours a week in front of a TV playing a game with a headset on in front of a computer. The magnetic field of this individual has lots of holes in it, lots of holes. It's very weak. The life force is very weak. They don't go into nature. So they have a lot of allergies, a lot of sicknesses, imbalances in the organs. Okay, so it's important to be aware of that. And we clear our energetic space and make time to reconstruct our field, this magnetic field of our body, with intention and mind and energy. Okay, so what happens if we work 80-hour weeks and we don't really live very close to nature, or have a hard time going into nature, or even we have an illness that makes it difficult for us to go out into nature? I want you to get a living organism like a plant. Okay, if you have pets, unfortunately, the contractual agreement with pets are very heavy, because pets are there to help us experience unconditional love. But the contractual agreement is that because the animals have unconditional love, they operate on this unconditional love in absolute presence. A lot of times they become absorbers for people's illnesses, and the dogs will become ill. Sometimes they will take on the illness. I've seen everything from asthma to heart attacks to strokes to allergies. I mean, it is unbelievable the cases that I can share with you about this, that I've heard time and time again and that I've experienced. So the there's an aspect of responsibility that the human must come into, of consciousness, that everywhere that your brain state is, wherever you are in your process, you are affecting the collective. okay? Because we become parasites, we become parasitic, and we don't know that we're becoming parasitic, but the exchange between our body and our environment becomes a depletion process rather than a cultivation and empowerment. So the human that is aware of their exchanges with all things, matter, physical, animal kingdom, what all the kingdoms that are all sharing the same genetic data, we are interconnected in this field, this morphogenetic field. And so when we enter into the highest consciousness, we can access that information. So the cultivation of life force, aside from getting a plant, you have a pet, is actually something that can be done by learning how to work with your life force. You direct it, you manage it, because there's life force everywhere, all around us at all times. And people ask me, how do I heal from things? Well, when we're healing and we are removing a blockage from the body, remember we talked about what happens if you have a blockage in your body? Let me see if I have that slide here. But we literally can utilize our imagination, our intention, which is creation, in order to remove these blockages out of the body. Let me open that one moment. Okay. So when we have heavy thought forms and debris in the body, this body, it just, it can't move. So I mentioned to you before that there's different ways of transmuting heavy energies in the body. One way is to visualize moving it out. We literally grab the blockage and you move it out of your body. Okay. The other way is to get to the root in the subconscious mind that creates the environment for the attachment. Because if you don't get rid of that root, you're going to keep creating the blockage again and again and again. So let's talk about the energetic healing, because this is what today's course is about. Working with life force. When we eliminate an object from your field, you are literally intentionally utilizing your awareness of your field in order to transmute a low into transmutation. And how we do that is we utilize the multidimensional body through the field, and we transmute it by sending it to above the body or below the body. Where is my field? Okay. I don't know where it is. Here it is. We'll just use this. So we utilize the upper vortex, because this is vortex that we have that our body is made out of, in order to eliminate the debris out through the upper vortex, or you can eliminate through the lower vortex. The heavier the blockage in your body, the more it's going to want to pull and be easier to dissolve into the center of the earth. The earth is a toroidal field, just like us. Just the way we can transmute something, the planet Earth, also transmutes. It has the ability of transmuting life force because it turns death into life. So when these blockages are eliminated from the body and sent to the center of the earth, what happens is, in the transmutation process, as we've been learning, we are taking, let's say, anger, resentment, and we are turning it into unconditional love. We are turning black color, brown color, green yucky color, let's just say any color of these lower range frequencies, densities, slow, heavy, sluggish wavelengths. And by raising the frequency into unconditional love through the neutral life forces of white light, because white is all. So inherently, white light is unconditional love. It is the unification of all. Within white light cannot exist duality. Therefore, the ranges of emotional frequencies, separation and duality does not exist in white light. So literally, when we leave it out from the crown of the head and we send it up into that white light, it immediately transmutes into source, which is unconditional love. When I have you visualize a violet flame vortex to throw debris into, you are turning it into unconditional love. And so this is actually the most powerful way of transmutation to heal the body. Because some healing techniques, and I have some clients that come to me that say, oh, I want to cut cords. I want to just eliminate that. I'm so sick and tired of the anger. I want it gone, right? Well, the only way to eliminate low density emotions is by transmuting them. And we transmuting them by turning them into unconditional love. That's the only way. And that's how the vibrational frequency shift occurs. It doesn't happen any other way. It's not just about imagination. It's about shifting the frequency from the lowest to the highest. And in that vibrational frequency range, we begin to shift the whole. Okay, so in the transmutation process of eliminating debris from the multidimensional body, in today's exercise, we're going to focus on an exercise that I do a lot on this channel, which is called running energy. When we run energy through the 3 dimensions of the body, in the 3 dimensions of the body, we're bringing earth life force up into the body. Here's my pointer. I lost my pointer. Okay, oh, pointer. Okay. You are visualizing, and there's two energies. The earth has, as in with all of us, the rainbow colors, which are the frequency colors that can be seen in this 3-dimensional range realm, are accessible with the eye. Whatever we can see with the eye is what the earth can process and transmute into white light. Okay, so all of these ranges of colors that are processed through the 3-dimensional plane, we can see all these colors, is what the earth can also transmute into white light. The earth also transmutes these higher frequencies in a different way, but we are worried about these ones. We're concerned with these ranges because these ranges represents the emotional ranges of the body, the thought forms that we hold within the field. So as soon as we identify something that we want to release from the body, the fastest and most powerful way to clear your field, not just this toroidal field, but all 13 layers and infinite layers that are within us, as us, we can bring green earth life force. Now, green is the color that the earth has chosen for its vibrational frequency. Okay, it's the color that earth has chosen as its color of creation. And because our heart, because we talk about coherence, right? How do we cohere with one another? When we expand the heart center, we begin to access the field that interconnects us all. And we are interconnected all through this network, the morphogenetic field, through the Akashic records, through the DNA of the earth, and which is encoded in our DNA. So this through the heart is the access to the unity consciousness of the all. If you compare it and overlap it with the creator states, when you're in a state of co-creation from in the range of the heart, you are here within the ranges of creation. This is where the duality merges father and mother to create the child, the third. You are the third, and the third is the 3-dimensional plane, which is co-created by each and every one of us. So how we work with this energy in this field is that we utilize that earth frequency, bring it into the body so that it can begin to neutralize the densities and low emotions in the body. We also utilize source energy, cosmic energy, that being gold, which is 1 grade down from white light. White light is one of the most powerful, all-encompassing, neutral, that holds all colors for healing. But gold is a very powerful, soft life force energy. It's powerful and gentle, not soft. It's powerful and gentle in that it can assist us in creating a neutralizing effect. It's the neutral color. And gold is essentially the color which we ignite within our bodies, that the ormus that is created, this orgone energy of unconditional love, the orgasmic state, is a color of gold. When you enter into this orgasmic state, you produce golden light, because that golden light is the vibrational frequency of intergalactic, interdimensional, multi-universal unity. We are bringing that cosmic unity consciousness into the body and neutralizing with the earth. So when these two energies begin to move and activate, naturally they begin to activate the vortex of the body, both lower and higher, because they are a combination of the highest and the lowest frequency within the three-dimensional realm. They're higher and lower of the upper scale of frequency that we can utilize to neutralize. The key is neutrality, okay? So that allows the body to move debris quickly out of the body. And it will automatically either flush down to the center of the earth, the denser matters, or go up into the cosmos. Cosmos being source, being one. Okay, so this movement of running energy must then be moved through the 3 dimensions of the human vessel. And the human vessel, made up of the centers of the 3 centers of energy in the body, the physical, the emotional, and the energetic, the non-physical, we must run this life force through these 3 dimensions. So you're going to visualize a small percent, 10% goes back down to the center of the earth, back down your grounding cord. Bear with me, mouse is not cooperating. Okay, come on, this is silly. Okay. Okay, so when these two energies are neutralizing, 10% goes down, 80% goes up through the crown of the head, out from the outside of your field. And what that 80% is doing is that we are becoming alchemists by transmuting 3-dimensional limited energy and raising it into highest green and gold energy through our body. Our body now becomes the alchemical transducer that we were talking about yesterday, that ignites that higher frequency within the body. So we're alchemizing in many different ways. So this process of bringing this energy through the body allows us to neutralize the matrix, what we know as the matrix, the hologram that is being created by these many layers of fields that create our everyday experience, what we know as reality. Okay, so every single one of these fields creates the network of your reality. And this 80% goes out to neutralize. It allows you to begin to neutralize. So again, we're not cutting cords, but we're neutralizing our entanglement, the entanglement that occurs within your energetic field and all other things, and call back your life force into your body. So this incredible transmutation exercise helps you also heal the body, because the physical vessel needs to be nourished with that life force. Okay, so this is what we're going to be doing today. And we're going to be working with these centers in order to bring the body into a state of neutrality, which allows the brain waves to automatically go up into alpha state. What's alpha state? It's the center of relaxation, visualization, and creativity. In order to have strong visualization or imagination, we have to allow the body to come into alpha state. So for many of you that are having a hard time visualizing and imagining and seeing, it's because we are probably in a more survival. And again, I mentioned the fragmentation that occurs in the separation between mind and body, emotions. So the other way to be able to activate that intuition is by bringing yourself as much as possible into alpha state. We go into alpha state by grounding, protecting, aligning, co-creating. That's the GPAC, a multidimensional body that we learn how to embody in this physical body. Okay. All right, my love. So let's get started. I'm going to allow you guys to get really nice and comfortable. We're going to close our eyes. And I want you to visualize the earth. Take a look at the earth. What does it look like to you? Visualize it as this beautiful planet. And as you begin to see the earth, paying attention to the many color variations, the land variations, breathing. As you begin to tune in to notice how the energy moves through this earth, watching the ebb and flow of life force through the earth to its own toroidal field. Take a look at the toroidal field of the earth. Just take a look at that donut movement of life force. And I want you to align with that rhythm. You can imagine yourself in nature, in a beautiful place that you have been before. Go ahead and visualize aligning yourself with this planet Earth as your body comes back into a state of neutrality. Breathing. And as we set the intention and hold space for our body to begin to rebalance itself, you're going to start by closing and shrinking down the root chakra at the base of the spine. Front and back. Go up to your sacral, shrink that chakra down to the size of a dime. Go up to your solar plexus. Go ahead and visualize shrinking that chakra down to the size of a dime. Breathing. Go up to your solar plexus, shrinking that chakra down to the size of a dime. Bringing the body into a state of complete neutrality, complete relaxation. With every breath you take, you're going to go up into your heart chakra. Go ahead and expand that heart chakra. Once again, as you align yourself with Earth, the natural circadian rhythms of Earth, which we do with our melatonin in the pineal gland, but we're going to activate it through the larger field of the body. Go up into the throat. Go ahead and expand that throat chakra, opening the center of communication and expression. Breathing. Going up into the third eye now, activating the third eye, expanding the third eye chakra. So let's begin to activate now as we have aligned our body so that we are receptive with this earth energy. Go ahead and visualize from the center of the earth, this powerful green life force comes rushing up into the body, creating a vortex of energy all around us. And if it feels too difficult to use green life force, I want you to use gold, which is lighter neutral. Go ahead and mix that beautiful green and gold energy in the body. As you bring that cosmic energy down from source, combining with the green earth energy. As you bring down that beautiful cosmic energy into the crown of the head, combining with that green earth energy, move it around you as you begin to rotate your field, your lower chakra, your lower vortex. And you will feel, some of you will feel dizzy, some of you will feel a spinning sensation, some of you will feel a pull. That's okay. Just stay. It's not going to be something that will make you feel sick or uncomfortable, but it'll feel like refreshing and cleansing. It's just you tuning into your field. So get acquainted with this. Love this. You're going to take 10% of that combination back down to the center of the earth, anchoring into the center core. You're going to take 80% of that combination, send it up your spine and from the crown of your head, creating a fountain of life force, coating the outside of your field. Calling back your life force into your body. Breathing deeply. If you guys have a lot of trauma in the body or you haven't taken a lot of time to process emotions, you might feel like you feel a little tired or you yawn a lot. And we talked about those different kinds of side effects in healing the organs. So it really speaks to the organ that right now is really getting cleaned and nourished. So have patience with yourself and just notice which one of your body parts is detoxing right now energetically. This is an energetic detox. Okay. So go ahead and focus on that final 10%. And you're going to bring it back into the body now, green and gold energy going up the spine, down the arms. And you're going to feed that green and gold life force into the pores, into the flesh, the muscles, the bones, down to the cellular level of the body. And as you feel that life force entering into the cellular level of the body, creating a really powerful healing, I want you to direct that life force to all the parts of the body that need more attention, that need more love. Breathing. As you bring this green earth energy and gold cosmic energy in the body is familiar with this. It neutralizes it, it welcomes it into the body. And this is another way of refracting life force, cosmic energy into the organs. So I taught you the violet flame refraction. Now we're learning how to do green and gold refraction because the same things happen. You are like a prism because of your vortex construct, your geometrical construct. So the way light bends in your body when you bring it into the body is designed to automatically redirect to the organs which absorb the life force that you're providing it right now. So each one of the organs is now being nourished. Okay, so you're going to feel the feeling of rotation or running as you run the energy through the 3 dimensions of the body, back down to the center of the earth, up out through the crown of the head. These are elimination points that you're activating in your body and into your physical body as you absorb it into the pores and into the cells of the body. It is really important for you at this moment to get connected with the cells of the body because we're now going to work with life force movement. Okay. So we're going to begin our breathing exercises. I want you to go up to your crown, to the 8th chakra, now that you're running energy through the body. And I want you to illuminate your 8th. Go ahead and fill it in with your creative color. And you're going to send it down to the 7th, activating the 7th. And in the 7th chakra, remember that it's different aspects of your life. So go ahead and let it come in. It's another prism refraction type mechanism that begins to take that color and send it into the direction of all the different aspects of your life: career, family, love, relationships, sexual energy, creative life force energy, health, vitality, balance, really important. Exchanges, intimacy, and finally your purpose. So make sure that you encompass all 3 aspects of the human and all of its micro elements in which you are looking to activate and ascend and manifest within. So your 7th is illuminated. Very good. So now that we have activated this center, You're going to bring the energy from the perineum, from the base of the spine, up into the pineal gland. Again, we're lifting up the pelvic floor as we did yesterday. And with the breath that we take, it absorbs the life force from the root and brings it up into the pineal gland. So let's begin. Inhale, gently visualizing that light moving up from the root of the spine, up through the spine, massaging the spine, moving any excess stagnation in the spine, in the back chakras that have not been addressed, that have not moved, moving that energy up, going up into the neck, into the head, into the brain, and into the pineal gland as it begins to illuminate. And gently notice that as you breathe in, you're going to be holding little bits of air as you create the pressure against the spine with your air that you're breathing in. And this is what creates that ignition, the pressure that ignites this ascension transmutation process. So let's go ahead and come up. If you do it too fast and you put too much of that pressure into the head, you're going to get a headache. You're going to get a slight headache, or it'll feel like a brain freeze type of pain. So I want you to pay attention that you do it gently and mindfully, consciously and intentionally. So go ahead and go back to the perineum, and the perineum, you're going to inhale, bringing up that energy up the spine. Up into the pineal gland, holding gently and releasing gently. And as a side effect of holding the air into the pineal gland with the gentle pressure, you will feel an activation here in the crown. You will feel and you will see, for those of you that are visual, gold light emitting from the pineal gland, moving up into the center of the crown up here. Okay, so just allow yourself to experience that. Once again, breathing from the perineum, inhale, pulling up the pelvic floor, guiding the breath up the spine, massaging the spine, waking up the vertebrae, releasing trauma, releasing stagnation in the spine and in the back chakras that have been dormant all the way up. Notice the parts of the body that feel difficult to imagine. Those parts will be hazy. It'll be hard to imagine. It'll be hard to access. It'll feel like a block. It'll feel like you can't feel the air there. All of those are valid indications that this is a dormant and heavily blocked part of your body. So gently pay attention as you breathe that air up into the spine, now up into the upper spine, the neck, the nape of the neck, going up into the brain. And this is a gentle move up into the pineal gland, where you begin to gently hold and release, and you're going to begin to feel this side effect of rush of energy that goes up in the body. Okay, I want you to bring yourself into a state of unconditional love that is neutral. We're not forcing it, but we are coming into a neutral peace and harmony. From that neutrality will emerge naturally a feeling of love. So this is the love that I would like for you to access in your body as you transmute any of these heavy energies in the body. You'll notice that a kind of numbing sensation occurs where you stop thinking about external things and your attention fully goes into the body. So this is the key. Okay, this is the key to this practice. And we have one more step to this new meditation that I want you to do, but we're going to practice this for a couple more steps. Inhale deeply up the spine. Okay, so in this next breath, I want you to focus on the heart expansion. The heart expansion as you breathe up into the chest and lung cavity, beginning to press against the back of the spine. I want you to put your attention to the back of the spine as you take that breath in the back. Any stagnation in the back of the spine, I want you to visualize gently dissolving from the back heart chakra, moving out of the body, eliminating. And expanding the heart chakra front and back even wider than you did before. This will immediately open the throat chakra automatically, okay? Because this is an interconnected system. So as you focus on the throat now, take your attention to the throat, and you're going to allow yourself to expand that throat chakra even more, releasing any blockages in the throat. Notice if your blockages are in the right, in the left, masculine or feminine. Where are you holding on to them? Breathing deeply. And with this breath, with the pressure of the breath against the spine, dissolving any blockages in that spine, in the neck, you'll immediately notice a clarifying. Your nose will clear up, your sinus system will clear up. This is great for clearing the lymphatic system as well. So go ahead and bring that up again, another breath into the spinal third eye. And this is the one that I want you to be very careful, very mindful that you gently press the air up into the pineal gland, expanding your third eye. And as you expand the third eye, remember, this is a vortex that you're expanding. It's a field around the body that's being expanded, but you're looking at the internal part of the body. Okay? So this is where you're going to focus. Okay, as you go up into the brain and expand that third eye, go ahead and go up into your seventh chakra. I want you to breathe deeply up into the seventh now. Take that energy up into the seventh, expanding the seventh chakra front and back. This will feel lighter and easier to open. Go up into the eighth chakra now. Remember the eighth. Expanding the eighth. Okay, activating the center of transmutation. Okay. Excellent. So breathing gently now, I want you to come back to level your breath back into a rhythmic ebb and flow. Okay, we're just going to focus on breathing down to the base of the spine now. Gently breathing, bringing the body into a state of balance now. Okay, as you bring the body into a state of balance. Okay. As you sit in this space, I want you to sit in this space, running energy, aware of your breath. I want you to explore the sensations that come about as you focus on observing what it feels like to have activated your higher body. So we're just going to stay here in silence, observing for a few minutes. Okay? Continue to run energy through the body. Work intuitively. Notice when the body feels like it wants to absorb life force from Earth or from cosmos, and notice when the body wants to expel any life force or release anything, either down to the center of the earth or out through the crown of your head. You don't need to focus on any specific thought, just observe what comes up for you. You're breathing down to the base of your spine. So right now your belly should be rising and falling gently, gently, not pushed. You're going to take your tongue and put it up to the roof and the palate of your mouth, closing the circuit now. It'll take you even deeper. It'll take you higher to a vibrational frequency. Okay, some of you are going to feel that rotation movement through your body. Breathing deeply. Observing. Notice the profound peace that is available to you here. There is no struggle, no fear. You exist as one with all. You're experiencing right now what you can experience at all moments of your day. Imagine how much energy you would cultivate by being in this state at all times. You begin to activate more brain power. More brain becomes active, which begins to activate DNA. You are activating DNA right now. Because in this state, you can grow telomeres. Okay, the telomeres begin to grow through mindfulness practice and meditation, through the cultivation of this life force. If any kind of resistance or spasm from the body or nervous system that wants to contract, breathe into that contractions. For many of us that haven't experienced this, you're going to want to contract into a tense feeling of control or fear. Breathe, inhale. And this is the 0 point. We have brought our brain into alpha state. And some of you might even go higher. Okay. We're going to lock in this system. Go ahead and open the root chakra back into a balanced state. Notice any shifts. Go up into the sacral chakra. Open it back into a balanced state. Go back into the third now. Open it back into a balanced state. Notice the shift around you energetically. Does the pressure change in your home? Go up into the heart, into the throat, into the third eye, breathing into the base of the spine. You're going to go up to your 8th, 7th, and 8th. You're going to go up to your 9th. I want you to activate the 9th. Open the channels, the 9th dimensional plane in your body. Go up to the 10th, activate the 10th. Okay, activating the 10th dimensional plane of the body. Activate the 11th. If any of these dimensions that you begin to activate within your body, the layers of your body, these planes of your body, you will feel a stronger resonance or an ease of access. This is where you work a lot in your out-of-body experiences. This is where a lot of your activity is in dream state. So just notice. Don't need to get attached to anything. Just observe for now. You can explore it more. Okay, go up to the 12th. Activate the 12th. Activate the 13th. Don't let your brain fall asleep. Don't let your awareness go back into hypnosis. Bring yourself here, fully present. Watch your body language. Are you moving? Is the body energy panicking somewhere? Bring it into stillness. Go up to the 13th. Breathing down into the base of the spine. You have opened the anchors of energy through your body. Go ahead and expand your white light. Bring that white light down from source into the center core of your body, creating a pillar of white light through the physical body. Allow this pillar of white light to neutralize any blockages in any of the lower chakras, solar, sacral, root. Many of you have blockages in the root. Make it a vortex. Eliminate out of the body. And anchor down into the center of the earth. balancing. Any kind of side effect from this exercise, some of you might feel even sensations of feeling aroused sometimes. This is not a sexual arousing. This is your life force coming alive, your creative life force coming alive. Know the difference. And you're going to cultivate this life force. Every time that you feel those sensations, you're going to transmute them and breathe up into the pineal gland. And you're going to fill yourself with unconditional love, because the body that has been so separate from itself for so long will have strong side effects. Okay? So as you bring yourself back into the room, as you open your eyes, you continue to see your grounding cord, you continue to see your field around your body, you continue to see your chakras going all the way up to source, and every single one of your energy centers open. Okay, bring yourself back. Excellent. Excellent work. All right, guys, you guys did amazing. Welcome back. You guys are wonderful. I want to thank you so much for joining us again for day 9. We are really moving along this month. I'm so excited for everything that we have ahead of us. We have some more exciting things that we're going to want to work on. So if you have any questions, please put it down in the chat. Let me know how it was for you. What did you experience? What did you have trouble with? Did you feel any blocks in the body? Okay. Try to maintain this internal awareness and internal peace. It's a very powerful process. And yeah. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for your support, guys. Hello, everybody. Quickly going into the chat here. Kevin, love, fields of heatress. Welcome, my love. Anders, I heard about something called the 3 formation of the brain sand in the pineal gland. Is that something about spiritual growth? The formation of brain sand? Well, I'm not sure what they were referring to specifically, but the only thing I can imagine or perhaps speculate on what they meant by sand is crystallization. The pineal gland has little tiny crystals that we talked about yesterday. And when these become activated, this creates that I want to say transduction. Yeah, transduction process, changing energies from lower to high. That's actually the crystals and what those crystals are made out of, which is the combination of that calcium, carbon, and oxygen, and calcite. And so this creates this electrical transducing effect. Okay, I'm so tired. I can't remember the word right now. But there's another term that I wanted to say: piezoelectric. Yeah, so it has that piezoelectric conduit side effect as a result of those crystals becoming ignited. Okay. All right, my love. So yeah, that might be what it means. And of course, that is, of course, where that transmutation occurs, where we begin to activate the higher chemicals, higher vision, higher abilities, higher fields of our body become active. Our lives are sadly full of false things, keeping from some of us stuck. That's right. But the wonderful, joyful thing about that is that they are false. They are an illusion, which means that we can transmute them and change them as soon as we begin to change. Bailey Patterson says, do you have a link? To what, love? To what do you need a link? Fidel Salasi, welcome. Welcome, Fidel. Thank you so much for joining us. Anders, interesting topic. Pono, you want us to take you into the light spectrums you can't see into. Yeah, we can't. Well, we can see them. We can sense them with other senses, of course. Thank you. You work hard for us. Thank you so much, Field of Theaters. It's my pleasure. Thank you for your YouTube play. Oh, yes. All of these videos are also accessible on the YouTube playlist that I created that says 30 Days to Alchemical Transformation. So you can access that. Okay. That's really interesting. Our own field can become very strong, removing the effect of external electromagnetic fields, etc., I guess. That's correct. And I want you guys to know that, because many people talking about 5G and, these fields, um, yes, they can affect, but they have an effect on those that are operating in a constant state of disconnect from their body and hypnosis and disconnect from nature. We generate life force through the cultivation of life force in the body by connecting with nature and by running that energy. So it's really important to utilize that. Orgonite is a wonderful to grid your home. Yes, orgonite is wonderful. Mm, It depends if it's random EMFs, but many are TI, targeted individuals by contracted soldiers, for reasons most would like to know. It's obviously because of the person's abilities known by government. Yes, I'm very familiar with this, and I've also experienced being a targeted individual in my life for a time, until I learned how to utilize this information to combat that. So this is why I'm telling you that even for targeted individuals, we have the ability of changing our frequency, the radio wave that aligns you to certain information, into experience something completely different. We have the ability of doing that. There's no question about it. And even though every case is specific, our body has an intelligence that functions the same. So I want to empower you by understanding that if you know how to do these things in your body, you can transmute even the effect and the access to these systems, parasitic systems and programs. Thank you so much. When doing the violet flame, I had every chakra light up from the root and crown. I was surrounded by a galaxy with stars. I was pulled out of time and space by doing this. That's amazing. Teaching this is only found going within the gifts of others. Thank you so much. Grace Aquarius, so wonderful to see you. Take notice of the toroidal form of your field form, mindfulness exercises. Yes, thank you for that. Galactic astrology, thank you. Anita Shipley, I'm experiencing memory loss, even my short-term memories being affected. Do you know why, and how can I improve this state of forgetting on a daily basis? So when we have to be in fight or flight for a long time in our lives, and when we have a lot of trauma that we wish to disassociate with, we program little by little the mind to develop things such as extreme cases like Alzheimer over time. And this is because a deep self-betrayal, neglect of the self and of the internal voice, which we have trained ourselves to go against for a very long time. So in order to help ourselves reestablish that memory, we have to practice absolute presence. When you're present, you are aware of what you're recording, and you are allowing those records to be available to you through your consciousness. You're also aware of the programs that are running in the subconscious that are in, you know, influencing your every moment experience. So it's really important to practice presence, like be present in your body, be aware what you're doing, feel you're just like as attentively as you guys watch TV or watch a show, watch something, watch what you're doing as attentively. Okay, if you pick up a pen, watch yourself, pick up a pen, feel your arm, pick up that pen. When you're writing, write, like feel the writing, be absolutely in the present moment. And this allows you to begin to exercise your awareness multidimensionally, which activates the senses of recording in the body, because you are crystal. So you can activate that. And so that will help. I want you to see if that works. Anita, I would like to see if you can experiment with that and see how that works, okay? I can do an entire video on loss of memory, because there's also many other emotional aspects of that as well that should be taken into consideration. But be mindful of your emotions, bring yourself into a heightened state of awareness and peace. Anders, growing one's light, is that what makes the energy field stronger? Yes. When we grow our light, our field is stronger, because you become the whole. Every dimension, every layer of your body that you work with and you actively become aware of, you are expanding. Your body is expanding. You're becoming that field. Most of us are just like in the first three chakras. So, like, our field is very dim. Our access to dream times, our access to ET consciousness, our access to anything outside of this physical reality is not accessible to us. So, as you expand your vision, practice your intuition, access these higher realms, you have the ability to navigate these dimensional realms because it's in your body. You're doing it through the body. The vessel and the cultivation of the physical body is the embodiment of source, which is what you're talking about. Jesus talked about the whole body becoming a field with light. Many of these deities have rings, the crown, the crown around their head, the halo, which is the representation of that activation of the higher realms. The crown, the crown chakra, which is the center of manifestation. You unify the non-physical with the physical. That is what it means to become a co-creator. So forgetting can be side effects from ascending. You no longer resonate with the past experiences. Yes, it can be, but in order to ascend, it's not just a matter of forgetting. You have to integrate from those experiences, because that's how you grow. You can't remember that energy does not just disappear, and thought forms are energy that exists within your field. So if this is some memory that doesn't resonate with you anymore, the way to no longer resonate with that is to transmute our experiences and perceptions that resulted from those experiences. That's how we begin to clear the field and transmute those experiences from that emotion into unconditional love. Again, that's the process. All right, thank you so much, guys. Anita, Kevin, Lisa. Using tuning forks and silver items, plant crystals. Yes, that's right. Let me see if there's any more questions that I can answer. So I'm learning how to practice. I'm so glad to hear that. Sun Lazuli, hey, says, also curious, what is the best focal point through daily presence? Like focusing on the breath or having the chakras clear and moving energy field? So the best way to practice presence is to be fully in your body, fully engaged in what you are doing in the present moment, and practice an omnipresent awareness. Oh, somebody asked about omnipresence yesterday. But the omnipresent awareness is that you now become aware of yourself in this space, in this time, multidimensionally. That is the result of absolute embodied presence. And so when you embody that, your body is naturally spinning at a certain rate, at a heightened state, your vibrational frequency, because you're neutral. Notice that anytime you judge something, your body is contracted. Your muscles are tight because you're analyzing, you're categorizing, you're assessing something. The analytical mind is on overdrive. There's no room for the intuitive feeling, sensing body, and there's a disconnect between those two. So catch yourself next time you judge something. I want you to tune into your body. Notice how your stomach muscles are tight, back muscles. You're going to interrupt that and breathe into those areas and notice how the relationship with what you were thinking and what you're observing changes into a neutral observation state. Okay, so it's very much both physical, multidimensional process of being in the present moment. I advise you to check out GPAC, which is grounding, protecting, aligning, co-creating, which addresses these three-dimensional aspects of ourselves. And everything else is a side effect of that presence. I'm glad you're with me too, Grace. Thank you, universe, for this amazing master teacher, Geraldine. What a blessing to open and receive your lovely wisdom. Fernando, thank you so much. Much love to you. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Do you talk to ETs, Geraldine? Do I talk to them actively now? The thing is that we are constantly interacting with beings at all times. This space is speaking to us right now. Your space that you're in is communicating with you through numbers, through things, through little particles that are moving through your space. Remember that we actually play a huge role in the co-creation of our every experience. So depending on where you're at in your vibrational frequency will make you a match to what you're interacting with. So that being said, when I interact with interdimensionals, when I need to interact with them, it's not something that I do out of just enjoyment or distraction. It's always very purposeful. And it's always when I require that information or connection. But most of my information comes from my higher self directly, from source, and is not intervening with any kind of species because they are a reflection of me in a dimensional plane with a limited perspective, just like when I am in my physical. So I like to work in the unified force field, which is the morphogenetic field that interconnects all beings through our genetic data. And I try to access the highest form of information and truth um, that is available through our bodies, through neutrality. And that's really where my focus is. Which is why I don't necessarily channel any one being, because I have learned in the past that those exchanges always have an exchange rate. And we can talk about that in another series that I'm doing about ET contact, but that's a very long project. Anyway, advice on before sleeping, how to get into the presence with a lucid dream. The best way to practice lucid dreaming is to practice presence throughout your everyday. You will automatically become lucid in your dream state. Make it a habit to wake yourself up into presence. I have alarm on my phone. I used to have alarms on my phone back in the day where I used to literally, it would ring at every hour to remind me to come back into consciousness in case I was sleeping. And it's a very wonderful tool to utilize. You can also combine it with drinking water so that you're always staying hydrated. Hydration is so important for this alchemization process, by the way, because we are mostly made out of water and it helps us become a conduit. Okay. I see a lot of purple light and figures when I meditate with my eyes closed. This is a good sign of my third eye opening. Hi, Sienna. So nice to have you. Please check out my video. I think it was day 2 where we talked about the violet light. It talks all about that. It is an amazing sign. It means that you're activating your violet light, and I'm showing you how to utilize that, one way to use it. So you can definitely check that out. Okay. I see lots of people rooting you for your violet light. I root you too. That's amazing. All right, my loves, love you so much. I do not dream much, not sure why. That's okay. As you wake up consciousness, you will remember your dreams and you will become lucid in those dreams. But we are always extremely active in out of body experiences in dream state. All right. Love you so much. Have an amazing night, and I will see you tomorrow. All my love. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you so much. Much love.